Alright, this video is on fractions to percent. It's part 2. These problems are going to be a little bit harder than the ones you did the other night, but I know you guys are going to rock. We've talked before about writing a fraction as a percent, but as you'll notice here with our 1/8, 8 is not easy to multiply by a number to get to 100. So now we have to think of another way to get 1/8 as a percent, meaning out of 100. So one possible way is to write your fraction as a decimal. So we're going to take our 1/8, and we know as a fraction, it's 1/8, and if we want to write that to divide, we write 1 divided by 8. Remember, this symbol, 1 divided by 8, we read right to left and not left to right. So we need to figure out how many 8s we can get in 1. And so I'm going to add my decimal, and you can always add as many zeros after your whole number as you like after the decimal. So 8 goes into 1 0 times. 8 goes into 10 1 time. Your decimal comes straight up. Make sure you're lining up your numbers. 1 times 8 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down my 0. 8 goes into 20 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. Bring down another 0. 8 goes into 4 5 times. So now I have a decimal, and I know how to write a decimal as a percent. 0.125 is 125 1,000ths. I can divide both numerator and denominator by 10. Gets me 12.5 100ths, which is therefore 12.5%. Remember, percent means out of 100. So now we're going to talk about another way to find 1/8 as a percent. We know the answer, but we're just going to do it another way anyways. So we're going to start with our 1/8, and what we know is that we want a number out of 100, because again, percent means out of 100, ratio out of 100. So we need to know, what would we have to multiply the 8 by in order to get it to equal 100? Well, remember, your multiplication is the inverse of division. So if we're looking for a number that's going to multiply by 8 to equal 100, then we can just take our 100 and divide that by 8. So I'm going to do my scratch work over here. 8 goes into 10 1 time. 1 times 8 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down my 0. 8 goes into 20 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. I'm going to add a decimal and a 0. Bring down a 0, and then the 5, and the decimal goes straight up. So I would have to multiply my denominator by 12.5. I'm also going to multiply my numerator by 12.5, which gives me 12.5 out of 100. And again, I know that that means that 1/8 is 12.5%, or 12.5 out of 100. I know percents are getting a little harder, but I know you guys are going to do awesome.